Good morning, children. I hope you have seen all the previous videos of partition of Bengal, and you have to be very careful while listening to these video because partition of Bengal paved the way for Muslim League. Partition of Bengal only you will get to know about how come Muslims rose to power and which body they simply formed, right, in competition with Indian National Congress. So before explaining you all about Muslim League, I'm going to explain you about different things that led to the rise of divide and rule policy. So how come Britishers implemented divide and rule policy, and how come the Muslim League, the separate Muslim body, was formed, right? So before watching this video, you need to be careful about the previous videos. In the previous video, you have to clear yourself with the partition of Bengal and the rise of assertives. Clear? And partition of Bengal was the base in giving the rise to Muslim League. And what is it all about? I'm going to explain you in the present video. Clear? So let's start now. Let's start now. The factors responsible for the growth of communalism. Clear? The very first thing before coming to Muslim League, right, the body founded by Muslims, I'm going to explain you about the communalism. First of all, don't go for Muslims or don't go for Hindus right now. Right now, you need to clear yourself with the meaning of communalism. Communalism means community feeling, right? Hindu and Muslim, the separate feeling of Hindus and the Muslims, right? Now, what were the factors responsible for communalism? Now, before doing anything, Britishers have implemented divide and rule policies with a great vigor and energy. Clear, everyone? And divide and rule policy, just because of divide and rule policy, they ruled over India for years. This everyone knows. Now, how come they simply inculcate the feeling of communalism? We are going to read. I'm going to explain you with different points in this video. The very first thing, they have implemented the policy of divide and rule. I will explain you all the time the policy of divide and rule, but how they were implementing this policy, I'm going to explain you in this video now. The very first thing, they caused the rift between various sections. They simply divide the various sections of society, be it Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, or Christians. Next, they encouraged communal and separatist trend. Communal feeling, they started inculcating the communal feeling, like you are Hindu and you are Muslims. Their differences were highlighted, they were manipulated, they started backbiting. Clear, everyone? They simply they wanted Hindu and Muslims to be separated. Clear? And they did the separators. They did the separation in partition Bengal. Everyone knows in partition Bengal was the best example of divide and rule policy. They first of all convinced the Muslims, right, not to participate in anti-partition movement on one condition, that they would simply give them what a separate Muslim state. Clear? So this was a separatist trend, and this was the best example was what partition of Bengal. Clear? Come on to next now. They appeased the princes and the zamindars and created divide and rule among the common man. Now what they did, they simply wanted zamindars and the rulers and the princes to be away from the common masses, by convincing them, by giving them concessions and all. So they didn't want all these the upper class or the richer class to be involved in the common man. So you use your brain. Why they didn't want them? Why, if they simply neglect this sort of class, so might be possible this class help the common man. And this time the common man, they were highly frustrated. The common man comprised of Hindu and Muslims. They were highly frustrated for their jobs, for their future, for their security, right? And if really this type of scary feeling they wanted to develop, they wanted to inculcate among the Indians, and that would only be possible if they separate zamindars and the princes from the masses, and at last they would come on to the common man. Clear? Next, what they did, they held Muslims responsible for the revolt. Now, first of all, what they did now, they simply held Muslims responsible for the revolt of 1857. If you see the revolt of 1857, here all the soldiers, irrespective of caste, color, and creed, have given the support to Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar. And here Britishers have a tough time in dealing with the Mughals. Before Bahadur Shah Zafar too, there were many powerful Mughal rulers. They have given a tough time to the Britishers. Clear? So they held them responsible. They really held Muslim responsible for the revolt, and they decided to give them the punishment. Clear? What happened next? See. Now, they were denied recruitment in the army and the civilian officers. So very first thing, what they started hitting the Indians economically and financially, and they started throwing the Muslims from their jobs, from their offices. Clear? Next, government hatred towards Hindus started growing because of INC. So this was the condition for the Muslims, right? This was the condition, this Britishers attitude toward the Muslims. What happened? They simply held Muslims responsible I'm sorry. And plus, what happened? They simply, what happened? They simply convinced. They were denied. This one, they denied recruitment. Recruitment means appointment in the army and the civilian officers. On the next hand, what happened? They started, growing. They started hating Hindu organization also. And the main organization which was formed in India was known by the name of Indian National Congress. Everyone knows this was a Hindu-dominated body, and with the growing demand, with the growing strength of Indian National Congress, they were, with the growing strength of Indian National Congress, these Britishers started hating this body. Right? Come on to next slide now. Now, rise of communalism. Again, we're going to continue with that point now. The government tried to keep Muslims aloof from the Congress. Aloof means separated. And they convinced Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. They convinced means they simply, convinced the leader of Muslims. Right? They explained them. They simply, create the scary feeling of the among the hearts of the Indian leaders, Indian Muslim leaders. Ki if suppose they leave India, so who's going to dominate India? The Hindu organization, Indian National Congress. So with this sort of, attitude, this sort of, brainwashing they did to the Indian Muslims. What happened next? Just see. They convinced the Muslim not to give effect on the anti-partition, as they would give them a separate Muslim province. And how come they convinced the Muslims? Everyone knows in the partition Bengal also I explained you. They convinced the Muslim not to give effect on the anti-partition, as they would give them a separate province. Clear? Let's move on to another slide now. Now, next point, educational economic backwardness. Now, few points also that hit the Indian Muslims also. Clear? See, few points as I explained you, like implementing a divide and rule policy, or the rise of communalism was inculcated by the Britishers. Clear? But these few points like educational backwardness, economic backwardness, these points really hit internally the Indian Muslims and Hindus. Now, what happened? Just see now. The Muslim declared a war against the Western education, while children of the other caste take admission in government school. The very first thing, what they did, what was mistake did by these Indian Muslims, what they did, they simply declared a war against the Western education because they were highly angry. Clear? But the other community children, they started, they support the Western education. They started sending their children to the schools. Clear, everyone? Now, what happened? Later, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan and Badruddin Tayyib, the Muslim, also took to new learning, but still they were slow in pace. So what happened? Though this mistake was later on realized by few Muslim reformists known by the name of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, or Badruddin Tayyib was a Congress member. So they realized this, and they started inculcating among the Indian Muslims, no, education is very important. Clear? So they started resorting to education along with Islamic education. They started focusing on Western education. But by the time they realized, by the time it was too late, the other community children, they started doing good in their jobs. They started getting jobs, and this was really create the feeling of insecurity, anger among the hearts of the Muslims. Clear? What happened next? Just see. They led to the belief that supporting the government was the surest way of getting government jobs. So this scenario, you can see very well, this scenario was totally presented by the Britishers. Right? And this way the Muslim attitude towards the Britishers started getting stronger now. No, after seeing that other community children was going to the job, they were started getting the the jobs and all, they started getting the reservations and all. So this really make Indian Muslims angry, and what they did, they realized no, the best way is to support the Britishers in all the matters. Clear, everyone? They thought that Britishers would be their ideal now, would be their Masiha, so to protect their, and they were the only one who protect their rights. Clear? So I hope so till now you have already assessed the brain of the Britishers, right? And all these things was conducted by the Britishers only, right? Who has given the jobs to the Hindu and the Muslim? The Britishers, obviously. But here Britishers totally manipulated the whole scene. What they simply realized Indian Muslims, what they realized, they simply realized them to be separated from the Hindu community, and obviously Muslims also supported the Britishers, and they thought the best part was what, to support the Britishers, and then only they will be getting the jobs and securities. Clear? The perfect rule, the perfect example of divide and rule policy, children. So make sure and do listen to this video carefully. Right? Now let's move on to next slide now. Now, general economic backwardness. Now, few backwardness we did in the, now another general economic backwardness now. So here, if you see, the industrial growth was very slow, right? Here, unemployment and poverty increased, intense competition for jobs, minority thought of such option as reservation of jobs for various community or caste. Clear? So here, Joy, if you see, like, basically if you see, the India was backward, and they really wanted to keep India backward. Who? The Britishers, right? That's why they never adopted the modern methods in agriculture. right? They simply wanted to keep India as an agriculture colony and as a manufacturer of raw material. Clear? So they hardly paid any consideration for the industries and all the things, and this way the unemployment, poverty increased, right? The competition also started increasing, because now there was a feeling of insecurity feeling which was inculcated by the Britishers among the Indian Muslims, right? And here what they were seeing now, the jobs was taken away by the other communities, and plus this community, that means Indian Muslims, were getting backward day by day. Clear, everyone? So this was, again they simply thought the best way was to support the Britishers. Let's see now what happened. The best part which Britishers did was what they simply published history books according to their own convenience, right? And in history books, children, they started implementing divide and rule policy, right? And what they did, for the very first of all, they published the material that encouraged religious intolerance means they published such material that really simply cause hatred in the minds of the Hindus against the Muslims, and in the minds of the Muslims against the Hindus, vice versa. Clear, everyone? The Britishers told the Muslims that they were descendants of Turks and the Mughals who had captured India from the Hindus. Now what they did, now they tried to they tried to convince the Muslims that this India belongs to the Muslims, right? And they have to, what they wanted Muslims to be separated from Hindus. Clear? And they simply brainwashed the Muslims that this India belonged to the Muslims, right? Belong to the Muslims means they simply explained that the history that Turks or the Mughals came to India, right? Everyone, they were descendants of Turks and Mughals, and this India belongs to them. Clear? Now next, communal version offended the Hindu mind as they ruled India for 2500 years. On the other hand, they simply they started brainwashing Hindus, and they simply asked Hindus that this India belongs to them because they are descendants or the early Aryans, right? They simply migrated to India and they almost ruled over for 2500 years. Clear, everyone? So this way the feeling of belongingness started spreading among the hearts of the Indians. Clear, everyone? Next now, cruelty inflicted by Muslim ruler, as British historians gave details, and these textbooks caused communal hatred. Now what happened? They started, make this one the main. They started, presenting the Mughals and the Turks as as a cruel rulers. Clear, everyone? In there, how they inflicted the cruelty on the Hindu warriors or the Hindu people. Clear, everyone? So all these things are highlighted. They were highlighted more by the Britishers in the history textbooks. Clear? So this way they can very easily manipulate it and brainwash the minds of Hindus and the Muslims with the help of presenting history and distorting the facts. Clear, everyone? In presence of Hindus and Muslims, and this way the gap started increasing, right? The more differences started penetrating, right, among the hearts of the Hindus and the Muslims. So I hope so people have understood by now how come they presented the history books, right? How come they simply presented them according to their own convenience, and this way they have implemented the divide and rule policy in a more stronger way, in a more efficient way. Clear, everyone? Because they wanted to rule over India, and the more differences among Hindu and Muslims lead to the survival of Britishers for years to come. Here, everyone? So I hope so people have understood what was the baneful impact of communal instructions, right? So this way we have reached to the end of this video class. So I hope so people have understood by now before though this chapter is about Muslim League, but before coming to the Muslim League, I'm going to explain you about few causes that led to the rise of the Muslim League, that led to the rise of the body. League means a body to be formed only for on behalf of the Muslims. Clear, everyone? So before the formation of this league or the body, I'm going to explain you about few factors that lead to divide and rule policy, that lead to communalism, and later on they would be having a separate body in competition with Indian National Congress. Clear? And this body purposely formed by Britishers, right? They purposely support the Muslims in simply forming this body known by the name of Muslim League. Clear? So before that you need to be aware about how come they implement their divide and rule policy, how come the communal feeling they simply inculcated in the minds of Hindus and the Muslims. Clear, everyone? And how come they presented history in a distorted manner. In this way they simply all these methods implemented by the Britishers so that they can efficiently present this, they can efficiently divide and rule the India. Clear, everyone? So do listen to this video carefully. Clear, everyone? Thank you, children.